Rob McLeod, and you're watching Omni X-Men.
Hi, my name is Chris Claremont. You're watching Omni X-Men.
Yes, that's right. It is another episode of Omni X-Men kicking off here tonight. We are breaking down Uncanny X-Men 196 from the Chris Claremont Omnibus. This is volume 5 for Omni X-Men here. So it's been a wild evening so far. If you guys have been following my channel, I've already been live for over an hour talking music, talking the classic Boston album, their debut album with John and Noah. So if you missed that and you're a Boston fan, or even if you just want to hear us ramble about an album, go back and check that out. Yes, the one from 1976 is the one I'm talking about. But yeah, tonight we got some X-Men, and of course it's not just me, it's also my co-host and good friend John from John's Comics with Kids. John.
Hey, I almost fell asleep. What are we talking about? Music? Come on. What is this?
I saw you in that chat for a little bit.
No, I was in there. That was fun. It was a great discussion. I thought you guys made some great points that I had not considered, and I honestly have not listened to that whole album, so it did make me want to go and listen. I'm a musical moron. I completely describe myself as that time and again.
I never wanted to say that, but yeah.
I am. Sign me up. Like, if it's not 1950s soul music, I'm probably not the person to ask about it in any way. My daughters are right around the corner. If you have questions, they'll help you out.
That's great. Yeah. That's great. Well, what you are a pro at when it comes to X-Men, and we were talking, I know, movies and comics. So yeah, the professional in the comic book world.
Yeah, I try to stay on point in the chat.
There you go. There you go. You stay in your lane. I appreciate that. Well, we got a really interesting issue tonight that I'm looking forward to talking with you about and having the chat here and everybody. Of course, we also have our special guest. He's back from last season, and one half of the Comic-Con podcast. I'm talking about my man Zack, aka Milton the Manimal. Zack, what's up, brother?
What's going on, fellas? Yeah, happy to be back. Happy to be doing the X-Men. Don't get me wrong, I love me some New Mutants, but I mean, flagship team. What are we talking here? Right?
Yeah,
you know,
right.
There's just no comparison here. So
true.
I appreciated the invite. Was super excited to jump on here with you guys and talk everything X-Men, man. That's my favorite thing to do.
So. Absolutely, man. Yeah, when
but
I think
Boston, you were talking about Boston, really, for an hour? Boston?
Yeah.
I'd say closer to an hour and a half, but I won't. I'm not going to put.
How much is there to say about Boston for an hour and a half, man?
And not the city, not the
city.
No, not the history of the
not
city.
A fan of the city.
No.
Dude, it's a good album, man. It's a good album. I'm telling you. I never listened to it. I never listened to it straight through. The first album.
Yeah.
If you haven't done that, you should.
It's on my to-do list now.
Zack, man, anytime I think of mutants, I think of X-Men, I think of you. Definitely
perfect.
Excited to hear your thoughts on tonight's issue and episode. So we appreciate you coming back here. And of course, anybody who does not follow Zack or is not familiar with Zack, make sure you do so. I put his information in the description below. I got to make sure to drop the podcast in there as well. You guys have been doing some really cool things with Uncensored Nerds and loving all the stuff you guys are doing there. So with that being said, let's say a quick hello to the chat, and then we'll kind of dive into it. We did change some things around here, Zack, a slight, not a dramatic amount, but we got some fun stuff throughout the show.
Okay.
Throw
new rules. Okay.
Yeah. We got my man Tony hanging out in the chat. What's going on, Old Wolf? Good to see you. Matt Impress Comics hanging out back-to-back shows with me here. Appreciate you, Matt, for tuning in as always. Let's see, John pulling double duty. Love to see it.
Try.
A lot of people chatting. We got my man Stevie Conlin Comics in the chat as well, saying happy Tuesday. Hope you're doing well, Stevie. We got our good friend Candice Barbosa in the chat as well. What's going on, Candice? Let's see. Scrolling. I got GQ guy. It's Mark. Hey, what's going on, Mark? Yeah, can I just say, my buddy Mark here, who I've met through a few Comic-Cons now at this point. He's local to me, lives in the city in New York. This guy was dedicated. I guess I didn't realize this, but Chris Claremont was signing over in Queens at a small comic, a small shop over in Queens, and Mark was not. he was there super early, and so early that they gave him the sign that said "First Online" as he sits outside in his beach chair, dedicated to get some books signed from Chris Claremont. So, yeah, Mark, good on you, my friend. Hope it went well.
Score.
One of many times I know he's met him, but
I noticed in your intro video also that was the Bob McLeod was at King Con this past year. It was when he had the table like right next to Justin and I. That was wild, dude.
Yeah, I should have just turned that and had you guys do the same thing.
that was crazy sitting right next to him, man. I had some great conversations with him. He was so chill.
Oh yeah, you had the perfect setup there.
Yeah,
that little corner piece was nice. Shout out to King Con, by the way. That's Greg and the crew. Yeah. Let's see. Jackson Roy Kirk in the chat, dropping the line already.
Might be a skosh early.
Just a tiny. Our guy Ryan, aka Magic Lasso, Diana Ross album review. Ryan was hanging out in the chat earlier today, so maybe Ryan, we'll have to have you on as a guest. Let's see, scrolling, everybody saying hi. Don't want to miss anybody. Kenneth Bird in the chat as well. Kenneth was in the last chat as well. Good to see you, Kenneth. We got my man Guy Forge also popping in saying what's up. Good to see you, my friend. Hope all is well. All right, I think we're caught up here. Before we get into it, we want to remind everybody to stick around because we do have questions about last week's episode, last issue 195. So hopefully you read it and or watched the show, because at the end of this one, we will be asking our 4 questions in which you can get your name on the board. At the end of the year, we give away a ton of stuff, including really beautiful artwork from the Frame Brothers. John, do you have that? I got to get a screenshot, by the way, just so I can like.
I should take a photo of it. I got it right here. I always keep it right here. You know, I got it right at hand.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let me.
Awesome
boom.
new team sketch cover variant. It's got the whole crew. Who else is missing? Nobody. This is what you want. This is all you need. This is the glory.
Wow, they already killed Thunderbird in that one. Right?
Yeah.
Yes. We didn't need him. He's not necessary.
Dang.
He gone.
No chill, right? Just later.
Pass. Hard pass.
I did put the Frame Brothers links in the description. Definitely check them out. Again, that's something, if you want to win that, you got to get your name on the board. We'll raffle that off at the end of the season, which falls around June. So you can start by getting your name on the board tonight by answering some correct questions, or even just answering a wrong one and making Zach laugh enough that he chooses yours as the wrong answer. So so keep that in mind. So again, the frame cover or Frame Brothers. I see what you did there, Ryan. Frame piece, very nice. We got our guy Cliff in the chat. What is going on, Cliff? He was just our guest last week. He should ace the questions, right, John? Technically,
I mean, I'm assuming. He had the open book test already on this.
That's right. So again, make sure you are following John if you're not already, because you will need to go back onto his channel when we go to our next episode next Tuesday. So
yes,
be
sir,
ready for that as well. All right. I think we're good on housekeeping stuff. I'm going to share my screen and we can kind of dive into this. So this is a lot to talk about, and let's just go with the cover here first and foremost. Issue 196. I feel like this is a cover I glance over and keep flipping when I'm going through a book, if I'm being honest. Just that's how it's always been. Maybe a little more appreciation for it now because of reading the issue, but certainly, my first time through it. But John, I'll start with you. What's your initial thoughts on this cover?
I mean, because there's no like prominent mutant character that you recognize, and you're not like going, oh yeah, there's Storm or Rogue or whatever. Even Logan kind of is hidden. I can understand passing over this cover. However, the more I've read Uncanny, the more I've collected this run, the more I like it. The more I like the silhouette of Logan on the wall, the creepiness of the main focus with Rachel hunched over this sort of unconscious character, and the popped claws in the foreground, which you might not see. I do think there's a ton here of layers that I really dig. If you can get rid of the damn Secret Wars 2 corner logo thing, I think there's a lot here. And I love the way they use color to sort of differentiate background, middle ground, foreground. I think they do a good work. The color work does a really great job of giving us perspective.
Nice. Love it. Well said. Zach, is John being just like super friendly about this, or how do you feel about this?
No, look, man, John's nailing all like the visual things. I don't even know if I can really talk on that because I'm not a visual like art guy, so I'm going to sound like an idiot. But what I do like about this, there's a couple things, is I love the brick background, right? Like, because it harkens back to like Days of Future Past, right, with Rachel. And so having that brick in the background. There's just this gritty tone with that, and like you're in this street and it's dirty. It's got like a dirty feel to it.
Yep.
For me though, also this cover, when you guys sent me the list of like books to pick, and I saw this was on there, I chose this one because this was actually like, look, when you're growing up, right, and you see a book and you're like, this is an old book, and this was one I got at a flea market one time, and I remember thinking as a kid, being like, I have such a valuable old book here. This is so great. This book's probably like a $2 book, right? But like, it was so old at the time when I was a kid, and this one really sticks out in my memory. There's other issues when I go through the run of Uncanny X-Men where, like, if you asked, boom, you threw out just a random issue, and I wouldn't know what the cover looks like. But if you told me this, like, yes, this one sticks in my mind. So
nice.
Great issue, and excited to kind of talk about what goes on inside of it, but it's cool. And look, I always love and I love the heads in the top left, like the team and who you're gonna see in the comic. Like, it's so great. Like, it's old school. It's perfect. I wish they still did that shit. Like, us old heads, like, it would just be like so cool to see that flashback. But at the same time, sometimes, like John said, it's nice to have less on the cover than more. So
I'm with you. Well said. Yeah, like right,
now turn on the hater, Justin. Tell me why this isn't working for you, because I could feel it. I could feel the venom right off the bat.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's not it's just like, I don't know, something I've always just glanced by, and I think a part of it too, it falls into the Secret Wars stuff, which I've never read. The Secret Wars, especially the
Secret Wars 2.
Yeah, and it's Secret Wars 2. Yeah.
Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, and this is, to me now, like, I just feel like we're in such a further, I'm still so in love with 94 through 143 that we've read. Now it's been years now since we covered that stuff, but to me, this stuff, I'm like, wow, I can't believe we're at this cover. Like, I know, I mean, I certainly recognize this cover, but it's one that I always look past. So no, I am it's growing on me. It's JRJR, right? Is that
yes, sir?
It is, right? Yeah. Which I always talk about. It's always hit or miss.
It is,
especially in this era.
But it's all about thinking him, right? We keep talking about who's the finisher.
That's true. And I will have some positive stuff to say as we get into some of the artwork later in the issue, for sure. Quick hello to,
come on.
Yeah, quick hello to JP. What's going on, JP? Good to see you, my friend. Candace says, I agree with John. Really good layering with the foreground and background. I love Wolverine's iconic claw and shadow, for sure. Absolutely. And Ryan says that I like the coloring on this cover a lot.
And I will say, like, when I was young, I didn't quite understand who these characters on the cover were. I knew Wolverine, and the rest was a big kind of mystery to me when I first saw this cover. And I think the more I've read, the more I like the creepiness of Rachel as the Hound, and this costume is like, it just gives like serial killer vibes. Like, it's intense.
BDSM
like,
too. Yeah.
Well, there's always that's. Yeah, Claremont for you.
I was going to say, I thought of Pulp Fiction as I was.
Well, there you go. The Gimp, yes.
So, all right, then let's dive into this issue here. We start out with this really gorgeous, like, I mean, Gordon. I should say Professor X is not gorgeous, but the way he's drawn, I think, is a gorgeous splash page. And him saying, what was that? So we get this really cool, it looks like he's teaching, he's giving a ceremony, and in the background of his mind, he's picking up some hints that one of his students, or multiple students, I should say, are planning out a murder. And we quickly jump into a mystery kind of setting here. All he hears is we got to kill him. He kind of shares that he's been struggling with being able to decipher certain minds and being able to listen ever since he got jumped and everything else that had kind of gone through all that, and his visit with the Beyonder and everything else. So there's a lot going on with Professor X, but we just kind of get a mystery setting here. John, what'd you think of the artwork here and just kind of opening up this issue?
I mean, it feels like a Knives Out, right? We're all trapped in one place. There's clearly a victim and a killer here. How do we solve the crime?
Great movie.
Legitimately, this could be the same phrase we all say when we get to the end of this book. What was that? What did I just read? We could have some of the same questions, but no. Yeah, to your point, a good hook to kind of pull us into this narrative. We haven't seen Xavier in the last couple issues, so it's kind of like, okay, what's going on with this dude? And obviously we had a hint of Magneto potentially being in this issue. So there's a lot of like question marks from last issue.
Yeah.
And I think this is a good way to kind of grab us.
Yeah, good point. And yeah, also as a reminder for those who didn't read the last issue, there's a gap of some other things that happened kind of before we go into this, so that also, jumping right from 195 into 196 could, throw you off if you didn't read into some of that other stuff, which I didn't. I like I said, didn't read the war that was going on and everything else. But Zach, what about you? What were your thoughts on this splash page and the opening scenes?
Yeah, I love the first page with him with the Xavier right there. It's great, and the big letter box. Like, it's just so, just like I said, it's nostalgic, right? You're going back to like the way it is. And I had to take a minute though, for sure, to kind of like, okay, reset my brain. Where are we at in the history of the X-Men here? Because I'm actually, weirdly enough, I was like, you know what, I'm going to start reading X-Men kind of around the Jim Lee era, the gold team, blue team formation. So I started those omnibuses. I just got the blue gold omnibus, which is up next.
Nice.
So I'm also like, okay, like where am I at chronologically and everything? And so I had to like figure it out. I was like, oh, dude's walking. Okay, let's okay, where are we at? Okay, now I remember. But yeah, I mean, it's great. It's always kind of nice. You say nice, and I don't know if I really feel this way or not, but like when you have an issue that's not like versus the Magneto and the Brotherhood or the Acolytes or whoever, and you have these issues where it's a side story, so to speak, and is a little bit less X-Men-ish, and a different situation. You look back on those, and you appreciate them a little bit more than you do like weekly, right? When you're like reading weekly and you're like, what the hell is this issue?
Right.
But
right.
I like the vibe here, and like without getting into too much moving forward, I liked the setup, like you said, the Knives Out, the like murder mystery vibe kind of set forth here. So when I was reading the first 2 pages, I was like, okay, here we go. This is cool. So yeah.
No, well said. Roy Kirk says, professor just standing there not saying anything. The students thought, oh well, guess class is over, and just started filling out. Yeah, pretty much. Everybody just kind of walks away.
Wait, what was he teaching here? I didn't get this. What happened in the past issue? Like, what's he teaching here?
I don't know if they fully tell you. When he got mugged or beaten outside on the city streets, he was coming off of campus, and I do believe he's doing something with genetics, like some sort of biology genetics class. But they have been somewhat non-specific, if I recall.
Yeah. Okay. And shout out to Adam.
There it is.
Yeah, saying for the reference was 192 when Xavier gets mugged at the end of that issue, which was right towards the end of 2 seasons ago. Which is kind of funny to think about, John, because it's like, oh yeah, this was stuff we read 2 seasons ago.
It's been like a year and a half. So,
so it is kind of weird, even though this is like still very much right where we've been. All right, so let's
mutant relations. Jackson Roy Kirk says mutant relations.
Is that technically what it is? Okay. All right.
Okay.
It's just such the most generic term. Oh, I'm here for mutant relations.
Ryan says just teaching how to be a jerk.
They give a degree for anything these days. Come on.
All right. Well, let's so now we flash to a whole different kind of side of things. And Zach, to your point, this is too what I like, and especially with this issue, is how it kind of jumps around. You get little seeds that were planted maybe a couple issues ago or even last issue, and it kind of picks up just to kind of show you, because a lot of the team's scattered. Storm we see here still in Africa, still trying to find herself. Just in these first couple of panels, just kind of questioning, I'm here, I made it, I'm back home, but what am I trying to do? She's like not even quite sure. And we saw that she had a little bit of a scuffle with this crew that is now shot her, as you see this
the Fenris twins.
Fenris twins, and they're back. The sister saying I believe, brother. They're basically jerks. The one that's like with them, we're like, oh, I didn't agree to murdering or anything like that. And they're like, don't worry, we're gonna just say, we caught this lion, and that'll be the end, and everything else is swept under the rug. But yeah, just a little sprinkle here. Zach, what are your thoughts here? And was this something that was, do you recall some of this part of the story with these twins and everything?
Well, I remember, this is when Storm's depowered, right? And so we know what issue, gosh, I might butcher this here. Is it issue 200 or 202, the fight for leadership between her and Cyclops?
201.
Yeah, 201. Okay. Yeah. So I was wrong on both, like right in the middle.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah. So she's still depowered here. I didn't really remember the interaction with the Struckers, but I was pretty excited to kind of see them because they're great villains. And look, these are Nazis. This this is when the term Nazi actually like meant something, right? Not just this term. I feel like Nazis being, oh, you disagree with me, you're a Nazi. Everyone's a Nazi these days, right? So, but the Fenris, Nazis, right? So, Baron Strucker's children. So it was cool, and there's their sadisticness of like, just we clipped her in the head, man. Leave her body, take the lion. Like, whoa, okay, cool, dude.
Pretty dark, yeah.
So, but no, it's cool, man. I that was exciting to see them. I don't remember. It has me thinking like, is there something moving forward later in the issues after this with Fenris? And I don't remember that. I'm gonna have to look into that.
I don't want to spoil it, but we do get more of them in coming issues.
I don't remember that arc.
This very season. So we will get before we get to 201, we will have them appear again. Yes.
Nice.
But we've only had them. It's only been 2 appearances so far in Uncanny. This is the second appearance.
They were always one of those like mutant villains that didn't necessarily always have like, in fact, they probably less majority ties to the X-Men than like other titles,
like the Avengers or Cap or whatever. Yeah,
they usually showed up there. So, but that's cool. Yeah,
interesting. Yeah, the last issue was technically their first appearance, and I had never really heard of them, but we'll see where they go. I like
195 is their official first appearance.
Yeah.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
I don't know if I knew that.
Yeah, and it's really just it's like 2 pages. It's not a lot.
And I don't think they call them the Fenris twins until later. It's just their first name. You get Andrea and Andreas.
Yeah, you barely get their names.
Cool.
Colin says the tour guide. Were we just an accessory to murder? I mean, and they're just like, don't worry about it. It'll be fun. John,
Africa.
Any thoughts here, John? With these twins,
it's an interesting cameo moment. I know Lasso mentioned that she points out that the lion has her hair color. It's like it's almost like a spirit animal or something coming to greet her, and of course. Now we've got the this is ahead of its time. We've had a lot of stories about billionaires cruising Africa being trophy hunters over the last few years and just killing poor defenseless creatures. So it's interesting that Claremont was about 40 years ahead of the curve on that storyline. Here we get Storm and the animal getting shot down and left. And they just leave her for dead. They don't even go out and check like, hey, do we put one in the brain and make sure this is fully done? Right. This is a laziness level that I think is kind of interesting as well.
Yeah. I don't like my girl getting shot like this. This is a few times now in these these last 20 issues or whatever.
Depowered and gunned down.
Dude,
What the hell? So all right, so let's dive into this next bit here, and I want to start it, even though with what you see on screen here, technically the panel before that, I just want to point this one part out as to why, just a quick reminder as to why Professor X is a jerk. The Kitty and is just like, hey, look, Aurora got our pictures that we sent her, Rogue. The letter says that she really likes them, blah blah blah. This is really nice. And like, just read the room, Professor X. He's just like, Kitty, save that for later, please. I'm conducting a briefing. And then goes into this whole thing. Like, it's like grumpy Professor X. Anyways, so we get the team here now getting a briefing from Professor X, basically filling in on the fact that there is a group of students who are about to act on this potential murder, and they only have so much time to essentially try to stop it. And certain students are away, so he kind of explains the situation. Meanwhile, Kitty is like mentally talking to Colossus and saying like, I understand he's talking about this other murder thing. That sounds important, but hello, we're sitting with Magneto right now. She's like very uncomfortable. Like, this is weird. We were just like, he was trying to kill us not too long ago, and now we're all pals sitting around at a deli. Hello. And so there's a little bit of unease. And again, if you're just reading from last issue to this one, this is definitely out of context. For me, it was out of context. But I do know that, the stories of Magneto are coming. And then, of course, we get the waiter who's talking about Nimrod, and it's continuing to paint this picture of Nimrod being, humanity's hero, and how great he is, and all these other things. So just interesting to, Claremont is just reminding us of this is part of this world right now, that Nimrod's like kind of a good guy to humans, for what it's looked like he's done so far, even though he's an enemy to mutants. So that's a little aspect. Rogue is noticing that Wolverine something's not right. Wolverine's recognizing that Professor X is essentially not telling the truth. And then of course Kitty Pryde asking like, yeah, why do we have to do it? Why can't you just find the killer yourself and all this stuff? And he lies. He just makes up a thing about an experiment and these drugs. It's a delicate experiment, is all he says. And so that until the drugs wear off, it may be too late. Blah blah blah. So a lot going on in these pages, John. Good. I'll throw it to you first.
Your recap is amazing, and I'm vibing with Wolverine's like dead stare at Magneto. Like he's you got that uncle running their mouth at Thanksgiving, but you've also got that cousin just staring him down, saying, "Shut your trap. We're here for turkey. Like get your S together." Like that's what Logan is giving Magneto. He's just waiting for Magneto to run his mouth. And then he's going to lay him down. Yeah. And Magneto, smart enough to know I could beat Wolverine, but I also know I lose by beating Wolverine. Magneto just sits there. He's dressed to the nines and he's zipping his freaking lip the whole time. So for me, this is like Thanksgiving dinner gold. And I absolutely am vibing with Wolverine, just giving him the evil eye. And then Kitty is she's the young niece who's just like, I can't keep my mouth closed. Like I'm thinking these thoughts. I need to have these thoughts. And so she's really struggling with this whole scenario of like, are we friends now? Or are we the good guys still? Like, what does this all mean? So for me, I'm enjoying the awkwardness of this whole reunion.
Yep.
And then amidst it all, you've got Rachel just like, I don't even know where I exist anymore. My world is basically gone, but I still feel like it is real to me, and I don't know if I can change that future, and I'm just kind of here feeling like I have no options but except rage, and that's all I got inside of me. So for me, it's the emotion of this awkward moment that I really am enjoying.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's like everybody's kind of got their own thing on their mind. Zach, what about you? What did you think of kind of all these interactions going on at this table?
Yeah, I mean, once again, it's kind of like trying to find my place again with these characters because their personages are so different to not only what I'm currently reading with the Jim Lee era stuff, but also like weekly stuff. So it's trying to
time traveling.
Right. It's very weird. And it's like, wait, that's not how Wolverine acts. Like, well, dude, okay, this is a long time ago. But so yeah, and even Kitty, just the way I always forget how young Kitty was written, right? People think more modern readers of X-Men think like Jubilee, right? But Kitty was the first. She was the first like child that you really had on the X-Men. You had the New Mutants, but you had Kitty was the original Jubilee.
For sure.
But the thing for me, and look, this is horrible, and I don't want to talk trash, but I can't draw worth a lick, but Ramita struggles with hair, right? Like their hair looks horrible. Like Wolverine's hair looks horrendous, and Rogue looks disheveled. It's just so it looks like a skunk. Like it's so bad, dude. Like the hair here, it's really throwing me off. I bet he loves drawing Xavier. Right.
It's a great point because I feel like a lot of artists in the next like 10 years of comics from this on have the same. Like I look at Todd McFarlane drawing Peter Parker with this like crazy curly hairdo, or Eric Larson the same way. I'm like, everybody doesn't need to have that giant 80s hair. Like there's other options. So hair is always and of course on this team between Rachel, Kitty, and Rogue, you have and Storm now, I guess you have quite a variety of wild hair.
Right. Like their hair defines the X-Men for the most part, and then you get to like when her Storm goes full mohawk, I mean,
right?
So
crazy. It's true. Adam says the press thinks that we teamed up with Juggernaut 2 issues ago. Now they're gonna accuse us of teaming up with Magneto. Oh wait. And Reichert says, "Oh, I can do it in seconds. I just want to see if you guys can figure it out." I could do it.
Right.
So a lot of interesting stuff here. All right, let's keep it going. So we do now here, these 3 panels or pages, and really it's 4. I kind of condensed the one on the left with Nightcrawler, but we get a glimpse of a few more things going on between certain team members, or just other scenes in general, I should say. One being Nightcrawler, who, as we know, very religious through and through, visiting Michael, who we've met. The priest in, what was it, Marvel Team Up, John, I think, with Cloak and Dagger and Spider-Man and all that. That is one of the annuals. So he's visiting the priest Michael, and has questions and concerns, and a lot of it all comes from the Beyonder. Did I just skip? Did I skip something on here?
There's some panels at the deli, or
where Rachel gets up because
that's what I wanted to point out.
Sees this blonde guy that is like clearly drawing psychic energy from her, and she goes to try to confront them, and then they vanish after a quick.
It's called Riz,
conversation.
John. They call it Riz. They can't call it Riz now.
I was like, where did that panel go? Oh yeah, so totally jumped that part, but so we saw the Beyonder in the.
It's not on you. Like there's a lot of good reasons to skip.
It's a lot of
I was thrown off. I thought it was actually because they were talking about Nimrod earlier, and I was like, wait, did Nimrod have like a human form for a minute? And I was like, I don't remember any of that. And then I was like, oh yeah, okay, Secret Wars Beyonder. Okay.
Yeah, and it all talks about all this stuff like so close. But yeah, Nightcrawler is like legit just mixed feelings and confused with knowing now the Beyonder from his first time experience from Secret Wars, and it's just laying out the line of how he feels. Is this supposed to be God? He has the ability of God, but if it's not God, am I supposed to? Who do I look to? Why would God make him if he's got all these powers? So a lot of different feelings going on with Nightcrawler. I will say, if you guys, and for anyone who has the physical book or has the omnibus, if you get a chance to look at this page, the main one that is right next to John and Zack, I actually think this is some of JRJR's better work overall, and maybe even just the page layouts. I think it's simplified, which might help it to some degrees, but between the colors and everything else, and just the focus on Nightcrawler, his fist when he's punching anyways, going into detailer, but I just wanted to highlight that I thought this was some of the best artwork that I saw, and totally agreed, Zack, with what you were saying prior to this with the hair. And this whole thing's like a roller coaster. But anyways, so then we get the middle panels, which are a flashback to the Columbia University, where we get these people we don't know breaking in and basically setting up a booby trap. We have a hint that it has to do with these students that are going to potentially murder and all this other stuff. And they put something underneath one of the desks there right before security comes. And then, of course, the stuff on the far side, we get Rogue and Rachel, who are flying by and see basically this dude who gets jumped and trying to save him, just trying to do what they thought was right. They do have some heavy conversation in the meantime, but we really see a little bit more conflict here, and we've been getting it over these last few issues. But the conflict of how people feel about mutants and how humans feel about mutants, and they find out that this guy who they just rescued is actually a fan of Nimrod and saying muties die, and so that all kind of made it awkward and backfired. So yeah, a lot of going on here, and just these 3 sets of panels here. Zack, I will throw it to you first. Anything you want to share or talk about in these 4 pages?
Yeah, I mean, specifically the part I loved is once again, I'll probably keep coming back to this. I'd forgot Nightcrawler was officially team leader at this time.
Yes,
it's cool. And I've always been. I mean, Nightcrawler's probably one of my top 3 favorite X-Men. I always loved Nightcrawler, and I want to say one of the things I probably love so much about him is one of the reasons I love Daredevil so much is because I'm Catholic, and so it's great to. I've always really appreciated that they've stuck with that with both characters long term over their story arc. It's part of who they are, and they've never really kind of moved away from that. And it is a really poignant conversation points that he's making as well about the Beyonder, this idea of do I believe in God? This guy has the power of God. Is he God? What's happening? Really kind of struggling with faith. This priest sucks, by the way. Like this guy has
He doesn't say a word.
man, no answers. Like, and I mean, and you can't even give him any credit for like, hey, dude, this devil demon guy just teleported in because he clearly knows who he is. He's calling him Kurt. Like,
Right.
just no answers, bro. Like, hey, man, fucking say something. Like, but yeah, no, I really like that. Like I said, I love that's always been a part of who Kurt and who Nightcrawler is, and it's so important, and not because like the religion aspect, but also his appearance aspect, and it's never really changed his character, like his integrity and his personality throughout.
Yeah,
right?
not at all.
And I just love that. I mean, he's such a like we could all be better, more like Nightcrawler, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that stuff. I thought it was cool.
Yeah,
that was definitely obviously my favorite part.
Yeah, nice. Quick hello to Uncanny Derek hanging out in the chat. You're not late, man. Welcome in. We got my man Bobby De La Ghetto. Sorry, Bobby, if I missed you earlier. Good to see you, brother. John, what about you? What anything stand out here you want to highlight?
No, I mean, you guys definitely hit on a lot of the stuff I love. The Nightcrawler scene. I think the priest is hilarious to that same point Zach's making, because it's like, look, his attitude is probably like, look, I'm just getting used to the fact that like a blue demon shows up in my kitchen every so often to talk to me. Now you want to tell me you met God, and he's like wears like people as suits, and he's like got blonde hair one week and dark hair the next, and he's just making battle worlds out of nowhere. I don't know how to handle your problems, buddy. I'm used to people that are dealing with. I can give me homelessness over there. Like I'll take homelessness first. So that, yeah, I think just the dumbfounded look on his face is hilarious to me. But it's like I'm a real world priest. I'm not a Marvel Universe priest. Right. I'm not ready for this level of questioning. Like Galactus came to New York, and I was like, I'm quitting.
It'd been funny if you'd just been like, let's just pray the rosary.
Yeah.
All he does is just put a hand on him, right?
Yeah, it was Adam. Good talk. Kurt donation boxes over there. Yeah,
there it is.
True, probably. Unfortunately.
All right, let's keep this going. So I did include this. I wasn't sure if I put this other panel on, but yeah. So you saw the kind of some of the action there. You do see that Rachel is kind of still being spied on from the entity, I guess we call it the Beyonder, creepy dude. And then Kitty Pryde tries a cigar for the first time, and she's complaining about this whole scenario as they're continuing to try to find these killers. And that was a pretty interesting reaction as she's coughing up. Wolverine's just kind of patting her on the back there, but she's definitely struggling and trying to figure things out. But I like the artwork, the perspective, or the angle of how they show her run off. I thought was pretty cool as she floats up into check the upstairs, and again reminding those who, if you didn't know already, she can walk on air,
defying gravity.
They
don't show that aspect of her power much. It is something you could definitely forget.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what I was thinking. Like, I feel like John, even us doing this show, it's maybe been shown maybe 3 times, 4 times.
Handful for sure. Yeah.
Like not more than that for something that's so cool. Anyway,
well,
so
and vital and kind of logical to an ability like hers, because if she makes herself incorporeal, why doesn't she just sink through the earth or whatever, right? She has to clearly have, in conjunction with that, an ability to control her own levitation in that space. Otherwise, if she does that at the top of the Empire State Building, does she just fall to the ground? Like at what level does she regain an ability to walk on a surface, right?
Yeah.
So levitation would have to go in conjunction with what she can do, but it takes her a while to master and learn it.
Yeah.
Have they ever addressed how high she can go? Like, what's they've never shown her as like a flyer, right? Like,
no, they've never seen it like have an end point or a low. Like, could she go? They do in, and I mean, spoiler for people that haven't read Joss Whedon's Astonishing X-Men.
Yeah,
but she does go through the entirety. She takes basically a nuke all the way through the earth. She phases it through the planet in that moment. She grabs onto it while it's flying and then phases it and her through the planet. Spoiler, great moment. But that's the extent I've seen her maximum level of her abilities.
Yeah. Roy Kirk says, "Wow, floating on air. Where do you get those cigars?" It's all in the cigars. JP still can't get past the skunk rogue. I can't unsee. It was JRGR doing. Yeah, it's brutal.
She's got that Pat Benatar look.
Yeah. Derek asking, I wonder what at what point she can not phase. Yeah, exactly. Like where do you draw the line? If she's coughing, why not phase through the smoke? Yeah, it's interesting.
Get it right out of your lungs there.
Yeah, just questions. Anything here that you guys want to I know this first half we kind of already talked about, but anything else to add?
I mean, I love the fact, the reveal that the kid they just saved is like super ignorant and was spray painting a hateful comment on the wall that Rachel instantly like. What I like about it is that Rogue was just trying to make a point about no. In our world, people are way more understanding. This is a way better way. Except that guy. God damn it. I was trying to make a point here, dude. And then you kind of just stepped all over my point.
Yeah.
So I like that moment, the reveal. And then, of course, Rachel's reaction is fantastic.
Yeah. Zach, anything to add there or going into Kitty Pryde?
No, I mean, just the relationship. Obviously, it's once again, I think I talked about this somewhat recently. I feel like with Justin on a different topic, but the whole Wolverine with the sidekick thing is that trope has moderately irritated me now up to this point. It's been done so much, but looking back on like one of the earlier versions of it, if not the earliest version of it,
the earliest for sure.
Right. Yeah. It's touching here. Like it works. It worked here. If I can forget what happens in the future, I can look at this and be like,
with all of his clones.
Right, exactly. And it's cool. And like, I liked that aspect of him. But yeah.
Yeah, good point.
Did you ever, I don't know, Zach, if you like read the Jason Aaron run Wolverine in the X-Men where he runs the school. That one, I know for me, it worked better because it was like a new role. For him trying to be Xavier was interesting to me. He and Kitty together, I guess you could say.
I think it was tough for me because that was like right around the time where everything was Wolverine. It was all
because he was on. They had just wrapped, or they were wrapping Uncanny X-Force by Remender, and he was on that team. And he had a solo book. He was on New Avengers. Yeah.
It was a little much, and I love Jason Aaron. I think he's one of the best writers out there. But it's a decent run at times. But for me, it was also a little too lighthearted, and I don't know.
Oh, it was very definitely more comedic.
Wolverine in a teacher mode's that's not my Wolverine. So but
it might work better outside of the being with all the other Wolverine titles together,
right?
Because I was out of comics at that point, and by the time I came back, I was just picking up things here and there and reading it just independently of. I think I finished Uncanny X-Force, and then I was like, oh, this is going next, and I just read that next, and it worked in that way. But I wasn't in the bubble.
Yeah, all post schism. The thing is, I'm a ride or die. I saw who was it? Someone in the chat made a Cyclops dig, and I don't really stand for that. I'm a ride or die Cyclops guy. So I was like, hey man,
we're just gonna be friends.
I'm not,
I don't even know
schism, Cyclops over Wolverine every day, dude. I'm like,
there it is.
We definitely have some mixed fans here in the chat for sure. So it's interesting. All right, let's keep this going here. We get to a bit of a heavier set of pages here as Kitty Pryde goes into the classroom. She runs into these students who essentially, at first she's just like, hey, what are you guys up to? They're questioning kind of what she's up to. Of course, it turns out these guys are the ones that are planning this murder and are hating on mutants. And in the process of this conversation, they get in Kitty's face for it. Kitty Pryde, as he calls her a mutie, she drops the N-bomb at him and says, well, how do you feel about that? If you, it hurts you, or the way it hurts you is how that feels to me when you say mutie, and it hurts me just that same way. So, was not expecting that. Did not realize that this was an issue that had this.
And I want to say this is the second time now we've had her use that, because she did use it in God Loves Man Kills, if I'm not mistaken. So this is her second time dropping the. Did she? N-word.
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember.
I think it is. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
But I believe the original comic doesn't black it out. I believe
it does not. Neither does the omnibus. It doesn't.
My omnibus does block it out.
Oh, really? Mine doesn't. Do you have a new?
I've got the Mutant Massacre Prelude omnibus.
Oh, okay.
His is a little different. Yeah, mine's Mine's the Magneto cover.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Matt. He agrees. Yeah. So in God Loves Man Kills, she does it as well.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah,
Oh, yeah. I got
yeah,
this.
couldn't remember that.
Kitty's got to put some things together. Got to
So
work on herself.
yeah. So and I'm curious, kind of, well, so the rest of the scene goes, she tries to walk away, they attack her, they mace her, and then use chloroform to knock her out. Some really aggressive, like crazy over the top stuff. And meanwhile, her friends are outside, not having a clue. Colossus, Wolverine, and Rogue. Well, Wolverine and Rogue catch up with Wolverine there on the stairs. But some bad things going on, and just a lot in these pages. So, John, I'm going to pass to you. What are your thoughts here, and what were your thoughts? Like, as
you're giving me a hot potato here, Justin.
I know.
A lot of things to deal with. Firstly, these are some very well prepared terrorists. They got pizza.
Yeah, they ordered ahead of time.
They have a pie. They brought a pie. It's ready. They're sharing it. One guy's just sitting on the ground. He's relaxing. He looks like he's like, no, this is just a normal Sunday evening. Like it's just what we do. The other guys brought chloroform because they were and mace. They were ready to be interrupted. So they brought all the gear. Like they seem ready for more than just whatever terrorist act they're committing. They're also ready to like take hostages and do whatever else this is. So kudos to them. They packed well. They planned effectively. As far as Kitty Pryde, I think she's way too comfortable with the hard R. I think she does need to pump the brakes a little bit, Kitty. I get it. Yep. You're not wrong in your thinking, Kitty, but you might not be executing this the way you think you are. Also, you have one job, girl. You have one real power set here, which is if somebody tries to grab you, they can't. Right. So the fact that you let one of these guys in your blind spot, and it's the guy who was sitting on the ground, and you let him get up and get the drop on you. Like, come on, girl. You got one skill here. You got one thing. You got to at least go incorporeal and let them mace each other, like right through you.
Yeah.
Like you could have pulled that move. So for me, Kitty, not nearly as prepared as these terrorists.
Yeah, and also like knowing the stuff she's gone through with the trainings from Shogun and or Ogun, and then the trainings from Wolverine, all in Japan. Like, I just feel like some student just is never gonna catch her off guard. It's just never real. Like, she is such a weapon at this point. I was a little surprised that it was just one little mace and then some chloroform and boom. And, I mean, I guess the chloroform, I get it. Like that's gonna happen. But like, but the mace, like, I don't know. Definitely surprised about that. Zach, what about you? What were your thoughts on these pages?
I mean, I was definitely surprised when I got to that box and like John said, the hard R came out, and I felt like I could hear it through the page. It came out and
you can't black that out.
Yeah, and I don't know. Like, I wonder if she, because right, Kitty Pryde's Jewish, right? Maybe she feels like she can say it, right? So when I used to
that's
live
her hall pass.
Yeah, I guess, dude. I don't know. When I lived in El Paso, for like 17 years, obviously predominantly Hispanic culture, and they are very free with that word out there. And,
oh, really? Okay.
And very free. And being like one of 5 white dudes out there,
right?
I'd be like, ooh, that's kind of awkward, man. Like, I don't know about that. Especially maybe wait till the one white guy leaves. That's kind of weird.
Right.
But so I don't know. Maybe, like you said, maybe they get a call pass. I don't know. I do want to speak on the chloroform. That it's just absurd. That's absurd, Kitty. Like, she can think about it. Oh, I can't concentrate enough to phase, but you could think about enough to identify chloroform. But okay.
What chloroform?
Right.
Right.
But like as everyone's talking, and I'm seeing like in the chat, different people say it's blacked out in digital and the issues on Unlimited and John's version. So like, I disagree with this. I disagree with this wholeheartedly. Like, these are timepieces, right? So at the time, as you read this, yes, it's comics, but you're in a place of history. And she did make good points. Her point is a very valid point. Like, hey, man, if you don't want slurs to be used, don't use slurs. I think that's extremely important. I think the freedom that even the Black community uses with this word is outrageous. But I also don't think we should be blurring things out. I don't think we should be. You need to know these things. I don't think I'm a big I don't believe in burning books. I don't believe in changing history. I don't believe in any of that. Like what happened, and I think we should know about it. So I don't like to hear that that's blacked out.
Sure.
But yeah,
Derek makes a
wild.
similar point about the social commentary she's trying to make, the comparison that she's trying to make that has validity. There's no, not to, she's definitely making a valid point. How she makes it may be, very 15-year-old of her, very in keeping with 15-year-olds, seeing that I have one in my house right now. I would hope that she wouldn't hard arm me, but I think it's in keeping with obviously a different time, but also I think a different age for this character.
Crazy to just picture Claremont white dude, super white. Like, let's just use this word
again.
Hard.
I'm gonna use it again
2 times. So, okay, guy.
There is and he said, and Derek saying it shouldn't be uncensored. Agreed. There were a lot of just different angles at this at this moment, and I'm glad you guys touched on everything because at first it was shock value just reading it. I wasn't expecting this to go in this direction, and to first see this, but then to take it into concept of into just full what Claremont's trying to do with. You guys said, she's trying to make a point that hey, in this world that we live in, muti is just as foul, it's just as wrong. Right. And so I mean, ballsy for Claremont to do this in this way, but I mean, it's art. At the end of the day, this is artwork, and he's trying to tell the story of this world that he created, just like movies that we watch and everything else. I kind of getting that aspect of it as I reread through this. And I was very curious because, and I'm glad you guys touched base on the censorship, because I was shocked to see that it was blacked out in the this is from the app, I should say, Marvel app. So then I ran over to my omnibus, but the omnibus has it in there, so you can read it. And I actually don't think these two issues
weren't printed very far apart, so it's funny that one would have it and one wouldn't.
Yeah, so that's why I was surprised, John, when you said yours was.
You have what? Massacre?
It's the Mutant Massacre Prelude omnibus, which is basically the same one that you've got, but it includes a bunch of X Factor issues at the end.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So anyways, really interesting. And
I want to say, and maybe those who read it off the newsstands, because I didn't, but I remember vaguely that this was a controversial book, that even at the time, the use of the word and Kitty Pryde's second strike, if you will, was controversial. It wasn't casual. The first one, was in a graphic novel, which those were considered somewhat more adult reading in some regard, the Marvel graphic novels. This was in it's a normal comic, and I think it had some level of controversy at the time, and continued to be so, because I remembered hearing about it many times, this is the N-word issue. It was it was something worth noting at the time.
Wow. I never knew it had I never knew it had a notoriety to it. I mean, I understand now, but I never. Crazy.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's keep going here. So now this is where we get the team together with Rachel, and as they're going back and forth with Professor X and Magneto, they end up setting off. Well, I guess the Beyonder is a big reason for this, as they see the Beyonder come in here, and Rachel getting triggered, or is it what do they call it, a psi scream that hits the team. Ultimately, her lashing out, and everything goes crazy at this point. You get I actually forgot that we had Professor X going flying through the building, in that shot that he had there was pretty wild. But you have as Kitty Pryde is getting choked out here, or essentially attempted murder, she gets saved by Rachel. But this is a lot flashbacks to Rachel and her coming out of her past, or her experiences in her past, and what she remembers, and no one really knows this until now. She's always kept this a secret of what her her past, where she's come from, and the details of that. So for her to transform, I mean, even her outfit and everything else, I didn't see that coming, but she finally comes out with it. So kind of a lot here. John, I'll pass it to you. What are your
Yeah.
thoughts on these pages?
I love the use of the psychic booby trap. The idea that they set a trap specifically for Xavier, one that would be triggered by his powers, and they didn't have any understanding that his powers would be, neutralized right now, right? That he wouldn't be able to activate this bomb that they set for him. And inadvertently, Rachel, in attempting to show them, hey, there's a guy over there, the god is right there, you guys. In attempting to do this, she triggers it. And I like that it then backfires, because now she is activated as the Hound and instantly becomes aware of what's going on with Kitty Pryde, and instantly is like, no, I can track her and I'm on it. And she just flies off to go and rescue her. This is a great Rachel sequence. I think she's often a character that gets somewhat maligned, I think, as a character. I don't think she gets the love that I think she deserves. And this is a great moment for her, where she's juggling two different lives in a sense, and forced to find a middle ground, where I have these skills as a hunter, as the Hound, but what if I use them to save my friend instead of like track down mutants and kill them?
Right. Yeah, no, well said.
I think that Jackson, that they suspected that there was. I don't think it was like common knowledge out in the world that Xavier was a mutant, but I think they had either some knowledge or that they suspected it because of, whatever propaganda website they went on.
Zach, what about you? What were your thoughts here on these pages?
Yeah, it's the action here is great. As John was saying it, I was thinking it in my head as well. Like I really agree with the Rachel Summers stuff. Like this was a period of time where you got like a decent chunk of Rachel, right? And we don't kind of see her again until like Excalibur, and that's hard to read. But and now I'm looking, as you were talking, John, I was like trying to run through my head, like, okay, when's a time where we got good Rachel? The Fall of the Shi'ar, I remember being like a very strong one, when it was like her and the with that dude, the Rook Shi'ar blade, where it was more modern story. She was good Rachel then. But yeah, reading this and seeing Rachel here, you're like, well, there's a lot of depth to this character. Like she's not just this, Jean Grey clone, like, which is what a lot of readers kind of felt like. Obviously, she's this alternate universe daughter, which poor Rachel always never got like thrown, like everyone else was accepted into the Summers clan for the most part, and she was, but they were just like, oh yeah, Rachel. but yeah, it's great, man. And once again, I got to speak on it, but I don't want to be like, I'm not trying to be a jerk here, but the more I look at this issue, the less and less like Ramita, I'm just like, I don't know about this art and these costumes. Like Colossus's costume is horrible. Yeah. Rogue looks like Suzanne Summers in her outfit, and then like same thing with Rachel, right? With the knee-high leggings and like the like she looks like she just came from the like Jazzercise or something.
They were doing a Thigh Master commercial. Just let it happen,
right? And Wolverine also, the all-black shirt. Like, okay,
he's the only one really not in uniform, right?
Right. And Rogue, did Rogue even like, what is her uniform? Like, what is
that?
This?
You're looking at it. That's the
uniform, right? For a while, that's really what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I don't know about that, but
Peter Pan or something.
Yeah. No.
No, I mean, look, I think it's fair, Zach, and we've definitely talked a lot about the struggles that this title has had ultimately post Cockrum, right? Because Cockrum comes in after Byrne, and then after there's a lot of growing pains right now. And this is my favorite Ramita Jr. stuff. Like, I'm not a huge fan of his Spider-Man stuff. I don't love his Daredevil stuff, but I think the inking here is better than he normally gets. But it is very inconsistent. Even panel to panel, it can be very inconsistent. What I do like is I think he tells stories really well. Like you talk about that middle page with the flying Xavier and Magneto, and they're like cutting out from one panel to another, and then the reaction shot, and then Rogue quickly catching, and then the fastball special. I think there's a lot of fun action that works panel to panel, but you are stuck with the 80s hair and the costumes and the face expressions that are sometimes
Some
a
of the
little bit off, and
some of the
yeah.
eyeballs are a little googly.
But
And I like
you're
the
spot on. You're spot on, and it doesn't make you a hater.
lettering
I think
too.
it's
It's
definitely
great.
common of this era.
Yeah.
The lettering stuff, like the snicked, and then earlier I
Yeah.
meant to talk about it where there's a panel where she's smoking and she's coughing and hacking. You know, it's cheesy, but it's nostalgic. You know. So,
Yeah.
Yep.
You're right. The paneling, the pacing, and the way he tells the story, it is great. It's just, yeah.
It's super inconsistent for sure.
Yeah.
I have a hard time because I'm always thinking of how I love his dad's artwork.
Oh yeah.
Like
Ramita Senior is God status. For sure.
it's like the bar is like so high, and it's like, well, you got the guy's last name, buddy. You better you better deliver.
Yeah.
I try to let that go, but it's just hard. It's hard to. All right, well, let's get into the kind of the ending here. As things get interrupted, the guy who was trying to kill Kitty still tries to go ahead and pull his gun out to take shots at Rachel. She quickly turns that bullet around back at him, and before it takes him out, Magneto showing his strength and stepping in here and basically telling Rachel, hey, if you do this, you're going to regret it. And on top of that, it's not going to fix anything. You're going to stoop to their level. A lot of back and forth here, but I think, some heavy points made again with a character like Rachel, who is really struggling with keeping to herself the secrets that she's had from the world that she's been in and the things that she's done versus her new family, her new friends. And that's been this separation this entire time. Like you guys said, she's two characters, and now it's finally coming together, or being revealed at least in a way that she, ideally didn't want it to come out like this, but here we are. So some really heavy points here, just back and forth on how Magneto has explained how, he's felt this way for a long time, the way she's currently feeling right now. And over these many years, he's had time to think about and grow and find himself in a bit more of a different mindset than what he used to be, a mindset that she's currently battling right now. So he does talk her off of doing it. The bullet drops, as you can see. I like
the little plink.
Yeah,
it's cool.
Drops right between this guy's legs, and she's like, she says, Magneto, I may never forgive you for this. We've attracted a lot of attention. Cops are here. Oh, that's So now she changes back into her regular clothes. Again, just showing a lot of the power that she has. I do think you get some cool panel layouts here with the heads kind of screaming and all that stuff. But and then, of course, it kind of wraps up in the end with Rachel. Kitty basically wanted to just say thanks for saving her. And she basically expresses that she would do anything. She would do anything for Kitty and her friends, and just her loyalty is there. And she's just very mixed after expressing her truth of what she used to be. And then, of course, we get this little bit about the Beyonder, who continues to be curious, and I think this is where he goes to doing Beyonder stuff. So that part didn't really interest me at the very end, but that's partially because I never read that stuff. But John, I'll throw it back to you. How'd you feel about how this issue ended?
I love these pages. These are some of my favorite, probably in the story here. Magneto is finally like, okay, look, I sat quietly through that really awkward dinner. You threw me out of building. I didn't complain. I sat quietly through all this. I let the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants girl rescue me, and I didn't say anything about it, even though I used to lead that team, and now she's failed on it. But whatever. However, I'm here now, and I'm gonna tell you the truth. And I like that he gives Rachel some hard truths here and gives her a moment to speak her mind. And she's obviously caught in a really tough situation. I love every single face that he does for her here. Like every single one pops for me. My favorite is the last one, the where it's like almost like half her face. It's really intense there. Next to the image where he's kind of like Magneto's holding a kitty. Really great. And I love that the whole time that they're fighting, he's hovering the bullet in front of the guy. In front of the guy. It's like, I stopped it, but we can still change our minds. Like, we still got options, but let's just talk it through before we blow the guy's brains out. And then my favorite part might just be her like, okay, I'll change back into some more normal clothes. And that's the outfit she changes into. It's like, what is that? What are you?
All
what?
the colors in that.
She's like, I want to be in something that people will not say looks weird. I'm gonna go into this wardrobe.
Yeah, she's better going back into the leather.
She's also like, check out this cake, Magneto. Like, right in his face.
I came from the future, but I didn't forget the cake. I don't, and then it's all ruined by the Beyonder at the end. So we can ignore that.
Try to block that part out. Zach, what are your thoughts here as we close out this issue?
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, the Rachel stuff is great. The Hound stuff, it's so awesome. And like I said, trying to like, where X-Men goes, and you've seen different characters, and it's almost, once again, this is like, I feel like an early, and I'm not trying to like downplay other people's like stories and say it's copying or anything, but it's such like an earlier version of what we currently see a lot, or used to see, with like Magic and her Limbo, the Dark Child aspect. Like this was kind of almost like, feels like this was the first little scenario like that, right?
Sure.
Where Rachel struggled with the Hound personality, and it would kind of come out. Maybe the first we actually saw was Wolverine with Berserker Rage, but
or even Jean's Phoenix, right? It's almost like the Phoenix, story.
Right.
And I do know that there's a criticism of Claremont that he often has the like woman out of control like theme come up again and again. The woman who has this other part that she's emotionally erratic, she can't control herself, like thing. That does get a little bit old. I totally agree. But it feels, to your point, feels different here, right?
It does. It's great. And honestly, like even the conversation here with her and Magneto, like when I was reading this, I'm like, wow, once again, trying to rack my brain. Did they ever like do more with these two characters who've had somewhat similar experiences in their thought process? Like, it seems like they have a lot in common here. Maybe they could talk more. And I don't think they really do. And then even now thinking about it here, and now I'm looking at the same thing. Like, I don't think X-Men ever really explored any of the relationship between like Magneto and Kitty Pryde about both being like Jewish, right? Like, did they ever really bond over that aspect? Like, these seem like missed opportunities here now, kind of like looking back. But I really like that back and forth between him and her. So it was cool. Once again, man, this panel, it's hard where the bullet's floating and he's crying and sweating on the top of his head. That's bad, bro. That water on the top of his head.
Very cartoony.
That's pretty bad.
Even the hand is like
he's melting. He's the Wicked Witch.
Right. Yeah. So no, it was cool. I enjoyed it, but like the Beyonder, like, get out of here. Zero interest when I saw the end too. Like, zero interest to read Iron Man 197. Like, to see what happens further.
Not going to do that. Saga. Not going to do it.
Yeah. So, but no, it was really cool. I like this issue for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Well said. Let's see. Let me make sure my next slide. Okay. So we got, let's go into the money and the key issues here. and then we'll talk about the rest. So I just highlighted the second appearance of the Fenris twins,
and the second appearance of Kitty's hard R.
Yeah, it should be the second appearance. There is a 9.9, or there's a few. There's 5 on the census. According to Go Collect. So 9.9 last sold in 2022 for $1,750. A 9.8 fair market value goes for about $70. 9.6 drops to half of that. So this book is pretty affordable. I think going to Zach, your point from in the beginning, I would probably just buy this raw for $1 or $2, because this definitely is just like a $1 book still, right, from a raw perspective. But any thoughts on the money or some of the key elements here?
I mean, owning a 9.9 of any book, especially a book this old, would be cool. I don't know if I'd pay $1,750 for it.
Don't do it. Yeah.
What a jump compared to that 9.8.
Yeah, but and honestly, unless it says on the CGC like Kitty says the N-word, then I don't want it, dude. I don't want it. Like, that would be okay. That's
the question cool. Is, does CGC black it out?
Yeah. When does the censorship stop?
Right.
Roy Kirk says, "What happened to Kitty's first time?" Yeah, that's a good point. Her
Right.
first cigar. Yeah,
Yep.
that's valid.
Good.
All right, so this last segment here, we jump into defining for ourselves who the MVP of the week is, or who the MVP of the issue is, I should say. So we had a lot of interesting characters here. So Zach, this is the part where we just pick a character that we think was kind of the the core, the key, MVP in any way that you want to define MVP. There's no wrong answer. So you can be funny with it or however you want to do. But John, for you, who was kind of your MVP or key player of the week?
It's so tricky. There's a lot of quality options to choose from here, and I'm gonna go with Magneto, just because I think he's the one that demonstrates a level of patience that I don't think he's ever known for having, as far as just being able to sit through very awkward, difficult conversations, get blown out of a building, still not mess up his hair or suit, and then show up when needed at the last second to kind of talk down a kid from doing something that he probably would have done himself like 10 years earlier. So let's be fair. I think it was a big moment for Mags, and I'm gonna go with Magneto.
Nice. Well said. Good pick. Zach, what about you? Who is the MVP for you?
Man, I mean, it's tough. I mean, part of you wants to just go for Kitty for just being so brave,
right,
in her free speech thought processes, but no, I think for me it's Father Bowen. I think it's Father Bowen. You know, he just his inability to help Kurt through his theological issues makes Kurt have problems in the future and makes him a more dynamic character. So you could almost say long term, Father Bowen is pivotal in the story arcs of Kurt Wagner moving forward. Right? So
teaching Kurt to solve his own problems. You don't need a priest. You solve your own problems.
All he could have said was like, just have faith. Like that's all he had to say.
Yeah.
Like, have faith, dude. He's like, what is? I think it's only only when he first teleporters take a little getting used to.
Yeah.
Thanks, guy. Like, okay. I've seen worse. Something seriously wrong, Kurt. If I can hear it in your voice, and I mean, I will say in his defense, because I don't want to just shit on a priest, but in his defense, Kurt kind of won't shut up. Like it's like
it's true.
He is kind of ranting,
a chance
raving
a little bit, but
yeah. Let him talk, and we don't see the next scene, right? The next panel could be the priest going through a whole amazing moment of like healing for Kurt, where it reaffirms his faith, brings him back to the church, and sends him on his way. We don't see that scene. I just believe that it exists.
He just gives him a great like scripture passage that solves the problem, but we just did a panel, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Father Bowen. That's my MVP.
Guys, you have to read the X-Men Classic of this issue, because there you get to see that in fact
I'm gonna grab that omnibus next.
Father Bowen just walks away. He just hears all that Nightcrawler says and he leaves. He just leaves.
Yeah.
That's how that ends. So.
Father Bowen converts at this point because he just can't deal with this BS. He's like, just can't. He's like, there is no God, Kurt. I'm out of here.
Sold.
Just quits. I think you guys both made some valid points. I'm going to go with Rachel here, and just that knowing the struggles that she's going through, and this is a character that I'm still getting familiar with. I'm not that familiar with her, and even just from the current stuff and anything that she showed up in, I don't know a ton of other than what we've learned in these issues and in these last couple seasons of her history and where she's come from. I'm continuing to learn that. So this was definitely a big moment in her just revealing what she revealed. Also, just how powerful she is. I mean, she clearly. I mean, if you guys mentioned like some people kind of just look at her as this other, Jean Grey kind of fill in or whatever, but like she definitely. Something I forget to think about is that she's got some really crazy powers that we have not explored yet, or I have not seen yet. And this was just a little glimpse of that, which I'm looking forward to. So it is as Zach, as you put it, I do think it is a missed opportunity if that's true, that they haven't touched on these relationships between someone like a Magneto and herself, or because I did like the these last bits or last parts here, the way they compared that. that feels like that is a real, should be an opportunity to hash that out. So that's unfortunate. But anyways, those are the MVPs. I see some people throwing some stuff in the chat as well. We have TM Nerdy in the chat. What's going on, TM?
Travis, come on. Take this seriously. Father Bowen was a better pick than that. Come on.
Conlon says the Lion.
The Lion.
Oh, it's true, man. The Lion.
We had several Magneto choices from Derek and Cliff and a few others. So appreciate the chat. Final thoughts here, and how let's just talk about grading this issue on a CGC scale. John, any final thoughts here, and how would you grade this issue as a whole?
No, I think this was a very fun issue. I think it's a little uneven art-wise in some spots, and definitely it doesn't. I would say it gets a big ding from me for the Beyonder, right? For the Secret Wars 2 stuff that really is a drag on the book. I think for me personally, that's what brings it down the most.
Yeah.
But the stuff without him, the stuff that's focused and germane to the mystery that Xavier starts the book off with, that stuff is super strong for me. So I'm gonna give this an 8.5 on my CGC scale. Nice.
I think that's fair. Zach, what about you? What any final thoughts here, and how would you grade this on a CGC scale?
Yeah, I'm in agreement. For the most the Beyonder stuff, you could have removed that from the story, and it really didn't have any.
100%.
It didn't have any, like, I could rip those panels and the story wouldn't have changed, right? Like, so yeah, for me, yeah, I'm probably about an 8 for this one. Just because it definitely is buying some time. You do see, setting up some stuff with Storm, setting some stuff with Nightcrawler on the side, and it's a focus on Rachel. But yeah, it's a decent issue. It's not bad. An 8 for me.
Yeah, nice, like it. Yeah, I'm right there, around there with you guys. I think some of these key moments, just like the interactions of Magneto and Rachel, has revealed a little bit more for me for these two. Even Magneto, I haven't gotten to read a lot yet because we haven't covered a lot in this era. So I think 8.5 is a good number for me. So I'm going to go with 8.5 as well. See Bobby putting a 9.4 with off-white comments.
Definitely off-white. I would describe that.
Yeah. Roy Kirk with an 8.0. Adam makes us up, said the cigar was the MVP of the week.
Matt says he's rating it as censored.
There you go. All right, let's take this out here, and so don't go away, gang. We have just the questions here, going back from or focusing on last week's episode and last week's issue. So if you guys don't know the rules, which I think most of you do that are here in the chat, we are looking for 2 correct answers and 1 incorrect answer. So if you haven't seen the show or you didn't read the book, that's okay. You can still get your name on the board. For each of those that we choose, you'll get your name on the board. That'll go towards the prize that we'll be giving away. We'll have a ton of giveaways, as you guys know already. So yeah, if you don't know the right answer, try to make Zach laugh or cringe or something.
Yep.
He may pick that one to be the most standout.
Play to the audience, gang.
Yeah.
Wait, so I'm picking.
You're gonna pick the best incorrect answer. You'll pick the best incorrect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just keep an eye out for something that cracks you up.
Yeah.
Or is just so off the wall that you're like, well, I got to pick that. Right?
Yeah. Sounds good.
It's completely up to you.
All right, John. Go ahead. You can start with your first question.
Yeah. So we were doing a lot with the power pack in the last issue. And at one point they were stuck out in the rain, sleeping next to a dumpster. And the children come to a realization. What is it the kids realize while they're sitting out there in the rain, living the hobo life? What is it the kids realize? It dawns on them all of a sudden. Oh, wait.
Oh, there's the line. Thanks, Roy Kirk.
And I'll accept those first 2 correct answers after the start line there. Yes, they have their uniforms that they could actually just put on their uniforms. They don't have to sit around in the dry clothes. Lasso is also saying they can have dry clothes. Yes, their uniforms keep them dry and warm. They could just switch into the uniforms with their abilities and not sit, wet and cold.
Yeah.
So I will go Old Wolf and Lasso.
Okay. Nice. I see a lot of people's answers coming in a little later here, but
Bobby's got. They realize this sucks.
Yeah, I mean that was
superhero life.
Yeah.
Lasso says that if they swear in this issue, it'll just get bleeped. So they go ahead. Kids can cuss. Oh,
oops. The cold never bothered them anyway. That's right. The cold
That's a
never
good
bothered them anyway.
little frozen.
Rain is wet.
Shocking twist. Shocking twist.
That John, that was technically our first time reading them, right? Even though the
first Power Pack book in the
this
Claremont era.
Okay,
yes.
yeah.
Not their first appearance.
Not their first appearance.
Because they'd had a solo run,
4 or 5 issues.
Yeah,
right,
and some of our characters had appeared in their run, but they hadn't appeared in anything Claremont was writing.
Right. Okay. The weather outside is weather. Storm didn't like them. JP says.
Yeah. I mean, she's got good taste.
Zach, anything stand out here to you as a best incorrect answer?
I mean, Conlon's comment, the weather outside is weather. I mean, forgetting Sarah Marshall is one of my favorite. So, I mean, I feel like I say that all the time, like in stupid things. The weather outside is weather. That's going to be the win for me right there.
I love it.
You go.
And also, Power Pack sucks, dude. Like,
yes.
I've always hated the Power Pack.
They
are.
Yeah.
Correct answer.
Yeah. That was this is kind of my new to me getting into the Power Pack. I don't know how many.
So rough.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to show up a lot, but hopefully.
I mean, they are in the Mutant Massacre next season. I can prep you with that. Be ready.
Spoiler.
Yeah.
They survive. Unfortunately.
Yeah. The babysitting with Logan was not enough to deter.
Because that would have been great if they got murdered. That would have been sweet, dude. Like, yeah.
If only this class of murderers reached them first before they got stopped by Rachel. All right, my first question is, how did Alex plan to remind his parents of who they were? So last episode, Alex was one of the Power Pack kids, and he had an idea as to how, because the parents were like, who are these kids? We don't know who they are. They're in our bed, but this is weird. And so Alex had a plan on how he could remind the parents on who they were. What was that, or how did he be there's really one specific thing I'm looking for here, and it's not what all the people are saying right now.
They've got an idea that's not really wrong.
Yeah, there was a scene after that's more of what I was picturing. P, their names in this now, Derek says. I mean that could work. I see one correct answer. JP says asking are we there yet over and over again until they go crazy. Yeah, that's pretty classic stuff. Pretty classic.
That's annoying.
Parents would be like, oh yeah, I do remember that. Looking for a little more specific. Ryan says, where Diana Ross wig? Oh yeah, there it is. Okay. So the correct answer was Disney World mug. That's what I was looking for, was Disney World mug. They ran to the cupboards and they were trying to he was trying to find, specifically Alex was trying to find this Disney World mug. So who was
Magic Lasso said it earlier, I think.
Yep, he did. Okay.
So Lasso first, and Impress Comics.
Ryan and Matt.
Copy paste there. Let's see. Adam says showing their names of their military dog collars.
Yeah,
there you go.
Because they are child soldiers.
I mean,
like the X-Men,
showing
like the
them
mutants.
The plastic sheets on their beds.
Oof. Yep.
He called them the N-word until they snapped out of it.
I could do it.
The father's like, "Oh man, listen, young man."
I don't think that's how I would raise my child.
They wanted their parents to hear the latest episode of the Comic Con podcast. Look at Matt
playing to my ego here.
There it is.
JP says showing them their empty bank accounts from having kids.
little too real.
A little too real, man.
JP
The
taking
father's
it to
like,
a
"Oh, I
level.
was wondering where all my money went."
What they should have done was let their parents sleep for like a day, and then they could have woke up and
I mean,
remembered things, and their brains would
correct.
finally be working again.
That's a good
But
strategy.
yeah, to your point earlier about the power pack quality level, they were all sleeping in the bed with the parents at the beginning of the issue. Like that's
yeah.
a ton of flaws with this plan.
And the mother was very casual. Like they just kind of woke up like, who are these kids here with
Dude,
us?
my son's gonna be in my bed tonight, like almost 100% at
Yeah,
some
yeah.
point, and you just get to it where you're like, whatever, dude. Like,
Right.
But four of them.
But,
Four
she,
of them.
Yeah,
but for
four
them
of
to forget though, for them to forget and then act
That's-
natural about it.
Yeah.
it's like some Willy Wonka shit right there.
Yeah.
There were no California Kings back in the 85. I don't know.
Derek said power packed themselves into the bed.
All right, we need
them
one
that
comedy
they
answer here.
literally look like them. Duh. Yeah, that's right. It's like, look at
I
us,
mean,
parents.
They
Yeah,
do.
Zach, any of these here? Your favorite?
Probably the empty bank. I like the empty bank account. Showing them the empty bank
Okay.
account.
Yeah. All right, JP
JP.
on the board.
He got his first one. Yep.
That's his first. All right.
That's his first. Yeah, he missed
Oh,
I think
good.
he missed the last couple.
There you go. All right, John, what's your second question?
Yeah. The big reveal of the villain was Anna Lee, the old woman who works with the Morlocks and was kind of using her abilities to try to sort of steal the children away. But what was it that Katie tells Anna Lee at the end that makes her feel better? What is it that Katie says to, make Anna Lee feel happy about this whole thing? Because obviously they're not staying in the sewers. That's just a hard pass.
Thank you, Roy Kirk, for the line.
Yeah, appreciate you, Jackson.
Hey, Katie, you suck, but we forgive you. Thanks. Oh yeah. She'll come back and eat pizza. We forgive you.
I mean, one person got the answer twice, and somebody else has got to get it.
Yeah.
The same person got the correct answer twice. Somebody else has got to get in there. Don't let old Wolf walk away with this.
You can't adopt Leech. What did
still be
Katie
friends.
say
Yep.
to make her feel better?
You
we can
don't
still be
look so
friends.
old if the lighting is right.
She said, "I won't press charges."
All right, JP, I'll give him the second one. I think he's the second person to get the Thanksgiving dinner thing right.
Okay, man, I think my thing's like not refreshing right here.
Is that what she said? She said we'll come back down for Thanksgiving.
She basically invited
Yeah.
Anna Lee to come to Thanksgiving dinner with her parents' place, but hasn't spoken to mom and dad about how that's going to play yet. Hey, I got this creepy mutant who kidnapped me who lives in the sewers, but can she come for Thanksgiving?
What's up with the rollers in her hair? What's up with this? How did she have rollers? And
A lot of questions.
Yeah,
A lot of questions.
she looks normal. Why is she in the sewers? What's going on?
So wait, so who are the two? Sorry, it's JP and
Old Wolf.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. This is better now. You don't look so old if the lighting is right. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Derek says, enjoy life right now because you won't survive the mutant massacre. Yes, Old Wolf spelling does count. They will teach her how to moonwalk. Ryan says.
Makes
Adam
everybody
says,
happier.
Adam says we promise not to tell Storm. Yeah, that's a good point because Storm is technically in charge here, and while she's
Knife
away,
fight time.
yeah, while she's away, Callisto's in charge.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a good way to get back at her. You will pretend we like you if you buy us stuff. Yeah, I mean that should be a good deal. Mom, Dad, you forgot we have an Auntie Anna Lee. Well, you didn't forget us. Let's see. Lucky you. I now have Stockholm syndrome. I come to Thanksgiving dinner. Yeah. Zach, any of these as a standout incorrect answer for you?
I like because it's story driven. I like the we promise not to tell Storm.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Adam.
Storm's the
Yeah,
most
that's
like
it.
absentee leader
true.
of the Morlocks ever. She's like, I beat her,
Yep.
Callisto. See you
Yeah.
later.
Yep.
Hope you don't
Yeah, yeah.
die. And never comes back to the sewers. Like,
She just kind of threatens them all one time. Like, I'll be
yeah,
back.
right. Which also, Storm being in the sewers is like the worst situation. She wouldn't want to be anywhere least
Yeah.
or less than that. Like, it's crazy.
It's true.
Fair.
All right, last question of the evening. How did the Morlocks really feel about Leech? It was revealed after Leech got knocked out. And the Morlocks, they felt some type of way. How did they really feel about Leech? And I technically wrote a specific line that was used, but I'll be flexible with this. I don't think it necessarily has to be exact, unless you think I should be strict about it.
We'll see how people do.
Otherwise, we're looking for incorrect answers. How did the Morlocks really feel about our boy Leech?
It's hard to be Leech.
Yeah. He should be fed to the alligators. I mean, that's not far off. It's not far off.
Alligators in the sewer.
Yeah. Envious. Bobby says envious because he got the squeeze on Rogue.
Mhm. It's true.
They were green with envy. Colin says if he dies, he dies. I mean, yeah, that's kind of accurate as well. They want Leech. They want Leech for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, cook him up. It's
Oh,
definitely white meat.
brutal. So I'm gonna go with the first two just because if
Okay.
it's not wrong. So Old Wolf Tony says hated him. Yeah, they didn't like him. They did not
Nope.
like him. I had initially they had said that he was a pain was my
Mhm.
initial answer to John, but and that's what they say. He goes he was a pain. But yeah, so Old Wolf and Matt Impressed. Yeah, hated him. We'll go with that as the correct one. Lasso says that he made a great cup of coffee. Who's Leech? I mean, that's kind of accurate too.
Yeah.
Zach, any of these as a final incorrect answer that you like?
What this boot Jackson Roykirk, just boot him. He can't ever talk again. This is blasphemy.
Roykirk,
You just lost a point. You just lost a point, Jack.
Yeah, you're not gonna get a point that way.
This guy can never be entered into anything ever. No, I like cheesy and dumb things, and I appreciated they were green with envy. That's pretty cheesy. That's a pretty cheesy dad joke. So yeah, I'm gonna go with that one.
There you go, Maddie.
Nice job, Matt. All right, gang. Well, thanks for the chat, for chiming in. Again, we'll be back next Tuesday. But Zach, dude, want to thank you so much for joining us again, diving in another deep dive. Yeah, man, we appreciate you, and always a blast hanging out with you. You have a lot of stuff going on. So anything you want to highlight or shout out before we close out with the Comic-Con podcast or anything else that you're up to, with any shows coming up or anything?
Well, I guess, okay. So obviously Uncensored Nerds Network. For those of you who don't know, Justin and I earlier this year jumped on with the Uncensored Nerds Network. There's a whole team of different shows over there. I highly encourage you guys, check them out. We're on Spotify. You should be able to find any kind of a show that you like, from interviews with artists, writers, mainstream, indies, interviews. Obviously, Justin and I kind of focus on books, news, stuff going on in the community, but tons of different shows, new people joining up, doing podcasts over there. So you really should be able to find something you like. Myself and Justin, obviously, Comic-Con podcast, we drop new episodes every Friday. And then each of us, and I'd be remiss to not promote Justin's show as well, have started our own individual podcast as well, or like shows underneath the network. Justin is doing one called Limit Break Podcast, where he's focusing on video games, kind of talking about new stuff coming out, news, different things, all video game related. And then myself, I have one called Just My Take. It's random, like as a topic comes up that I enjoy and that I like, that I will speak on it. So it's just kind of topic. Like the last one I did was I spoke about AI with Laura from Bird City Comics. And so, yeah, just my thoughts on anything going on in the comic book community. Very fun stuff. And yeah, other than that, you can find me on Milton the Manimal on Instagram, and Uncensored Nerds on Spotify. All of our shows are there. And other than like work and life, man, I don't need anything else. So that's enough. It's probably too much anyway. So as of now, no cons, awesome. Cons now in the future right now. No plans on any besides Terrificon, obviously every year, as much as possible.
Got to play some crafts, man.
right, for sure. But yeah, that's it, man. Awesome. Thanks for having me. Like very, very much a lot of fun. You guys like coming on and talking to you. I really, really appreciate it.
Always, man, always. And I did drop some links, so you guys just highlighted a few in the chat. So yeah, I put one for the Uncensored Nerd podcast, as well as another one here is directly to the latest podcast episode that you guys just dropped for Comic-Con podcast. But yeah, everything else is there. I highly recommend you also follow Zack over on Instagram. You can find out more of their details there as well. Him and Justin, Nemesis Prime. Conlon makes a good point. He says, Zack, how the hell did you find shelves for those omnibus? Yeah.
This is not going to be the answers you want, because you probably like want something like this. But it was randomly, we went to we were buying a crib for my son before he was born, and we went to this furniture. It was like an not off-brand, but like almost maybe called a boutique furniture store in El Paso. And they had on the other side, they had like their warehouse, so to speak, and it was like different pieces, like not on the show floor. And I saw the bookshelf and I was like, oh man, that's awesome. And it was already like built and everything, which was going to be like, oh, that's going to be kind of difficult, but that's how I found it. And it's great. You know, my house here, we're in DC. I'm like second floor. So the movers did not like to bring this up there because it doesn't it did not come apart. So
it's sturdy as heck. Look at it.
Yeah, no, it crushes. And it makes me worried every time. I'm like, you can see I'm doing some reorganizing here, but every time I put things down, I'm like, oh, what's the weight capacity? But it holds, man. So I don't know how I found it. I got lucky.
Nice, dude. Nice. Good stuff. Cool. Well, and as I mentioned before, make sure you're following John. John, anything you want to highlight before we close out here?
I'm gonna go live in like 5 minutes. I'm gonna be opening all my comics curing cancer prizes. Everything I bought, everything I got waiting over here. So I'm gonna just hang out and go live here in a little bit.
Sweet. Very cool. Very cool. Well, I'll see you in the chat then. Otherwise, we'll be back over on John's channel next week, 9:00 Eastern, as usual. So be ready, because Dr. Doom looks like he's involved in the next episode. So,
and we got X Illusionary Comics coming with us as well.
Oh yeah, that's right. X is coming on. Sweet. Right. All right, gang. Well, we'll smash that like button on the way out, and until next time, we will talk to you later. Peace.